I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for another BDSM United podcast. In this podcast, we want to break down the difference between littles as an identity and the kink of age play. There's a huge misconception that those in a DDLG type of dynamic include age play and or diapers in the scene or in the dynamic. For starters, a little is an adult that has the personality and the mindset of someone younger, perhaps childlike, and they're usually the submissive in a BDSM dynamic. A middle has the mindset of a teenager, and a big would be someone who has the mindset of the early 20s. This is not a kink, it's their identity. You can be a little and not want to be in a DDLG or want a daddy dom. A little does not age play. Sorry, a little that does not age play will not have a little age. Let me repeat that again because it's a very common misconception. A little that doesn't age play, someone who's not into the kink of age play, will not have a little age. That is characteristic of someone that age plays. Also, a little is usually in or looking for a daddy dom little girl, mommy dom little girl, or a CGL. G is like a caregiver little, or little boy, LB, uh, type of relationship dynamic, but are not limited to only those dynamics. Sometimes somebody who's a little may find themselves wanting a regular DS relationship or even an MS relationship. They usually prefer a caregiver, though, or a mommy or a daddy dom to serve, since they usually have similar kinks and oftentimes very similar relationship goals. Now, just a note that everything that's involved in BDSM is always between consenting adults. So the fact that DDLG and littles are part of the BDSM lifestyle tells us that this isn't incest or pedophilia. It's always a relationship between consenting adults. And those adults, the definition of an adult, as far as most people in lifestyle are concerned, is someone who is 18 plus. Now, caregiver is a gender neutral term, and it doesn't even have to be a dominant in the dynamic. A lot of times it's someone that helps them when they are age playing or in little space and helps make sure that they take their meds, they drink their water, they eat healthy, and uh, age play differs from age regression in that age play is just that. It's playing. You are playing or acting a role that just happens to be someone of a different age than you. With age regression, the person truly believes they are that age, at least mentally, at least feeling um, commonalities with that age, and they'll take on the mannerisms, the speech, and the personality of someone that age. They're very fragile generally during this time, and can uh, any emotional damage can be furthered that has been done before. In other words, there's a certain sensitivity for people who are in a state of age regression that needs to be considered. Age regression is often used outside of the lifestyle in things like hypnotic therapy to help with childhood trauma. So, do your research if you or your partner age regresses, and make sure to disclose this during the vetting period and to figure out what's needed of your partner when you age regress. Now, you can role play as someone older or younger. It can be sexual or non sexual. but it has to be between consenting adults. Like all role playing activities, age play can be a way to relieve stress, to provide comfort and safety, or to help with emotional scars from their childhood. This is considered a bottom type of kink since submitting doesn't have to be part of the role playing. During age play, the goal is to hit little space. This is different and not to be confused with subspace. Little space is the headspace or the mindset the age player gets when they get into that age during the scene. The regression will vary with the person. Various things can trigger going into little space, like coloring, your caregiver's tone of voice, perhaps a cartoon or a movie. And caregivers, ask your partners what types of things they enjoy doing when in little space. If you haven't seen it yet, we sometimes use caregiver uh, as a gender neutral term to mean the dominant in the relationship. Although caregiver can also be somewhat of a role play. Um, Diaper play can also be part of age play, but it too isn't required. It's a separate kink. Littles that did not age play don't go into and out of little space. Let me repeat that. Littles that do not age play, people who are not into the kink of age play, they don't go in and out of little space. A little is a little all the time because it's part of their personality. If you're a little and at any point you regress in age, regardless if you're aware of it or not, you're age playing. There's nothing wrong with age playing. It's a kink. It's something that many people enjoy. It's not better or worse. It's just different than being a little based on your personality and being a little based on your identity. So let's throw a few bullet points out there as we kind of close this up, just to kind of wrap it all together. You can be a little and not be into the kink of age play. You can be into the kink of age play and not be a little by identity. You can be both. You can be a ABDL, an adult baby diaper lover, and not role play, or not be a little, or not be a submissive, or you can be all three. You can be an adult baby, AB, and not be into diapers. You can be into diapers and not be into AB or age play. A lot of people in the LGBTQ community, as far as things like people who are into pup play, don't consider themselves babies, but they may be into diapers just because they are more so into the kink of wetting themselves or piss play or scat or something of that nature. There are a lot of different combinations with littles and with those that are into the kink of age play. We don't want to judge others if they don't age play like you, or if you thought you had to age play to be a little. We've noticed a lot of people in the lifestyle are taught that to be a little, that you automatically age play or that you have a little's age. And they don't realize that littles, age play, adult baby, adult baby diaper lovers are separate parts of the lifestyle and don't have to include the other. So make sure you do your research on those topics if you're interested in them, and also learn about your needs and how they fit within your identity, your dynamic, and the lifestyle, the types of kinks you do or don't enjoy. You can certainly, and I know this from personal experiences, you can be a little, and something like age play can be one of your hard limits. Role playing in general can be one of your hard limits. It just can be something you enjoy authenticity, and you just find role playing to be too traumatic or triggering in some way. And so you can be a little, and age play could be a hard limit for you, or any other type of kink. Hopefully, this has cleared up any confusion regarding littles, age play, and ABDL. Oftentimes, the differences between identities and role playing bring a bit of confusion within the lifestyle overall, because we have people that engage in the bedroom only role playing that looks like a power exchange relationship, but there isn't anything outside of the bedroom or outside of those specific scenes that is where any power exchange is really, or sorry, any power is really exchanged. So it's all role play, and so a lot of times people will take on that title of a dom or a sub or a little in this case, or a daddy, and what they're really talking about is a role that they play in a scene, and not an identity that they hold authentically, both in and out of play scenes. And so there's a bit of confusion there. One, if you are authentically all the time in all situations, everywhere, authentically part of your personality and part of your identity, a dominant, then uh, that's different than when you're in kink scenes that you play the role of dominant, uh, because one is very limited and the other is part of who you are. One is who you are, an identity is who you are, and a kink like role playing is something that you just do sometimes. I'm Primal Piggy. Thank you for joining me for this BDSM United podcast. You can find all of our resources at www.bdsmunited.com. It's been a joy talking to you today, bringing you this topic, and I'll talk to you again soon.